I am Phil Ashton, Associate Dean and Associate Professor of Urban Planning and Policy. It is my pleasure to welcome you to the 2019 commencement of the College of Urban Planning and Public Affairs at the University of Illinois at Chicago. I kindly ask that if you haven't already, please take a moment to turn off or mute all cell phones or other electronic devices that may detract from the enjoyment of all. At this time, I present to you the administration of the University of Illinois at Chicago and the College of Urban Planning and Public Affairs, our distinguished guests, and the faculty of the college. Please rise if you are able. This morning's music is provided by the Circle Brass Quintet under the direction of Michael Hogue. Please join the Circle Center Brass Quintet in singing our national anthem. Lyrics may be found on the last page of your commencement program.
Say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the so gallantly streaming, and the rockets regular, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Please be seated. Please welcome Michael A. Pagano, Dean of the College of Urban Planning and Public Affairs.
Thank you. Good morning. What a voice. That was awesome. Thank you. Well, good morning. Welcome. We all know why we are here, so let's start with the very first thing, and that is to tell our moms how much we love her. Tomorrow is Mother's Day, and everybody has a mother, and we know what we've learned from our mothers, so thank you to all the mothers. Well, on behalf of the faculty, staff, and administration, it's my pleasure to welcome you to our college commencement of 2019. Today is our 12th undergraduate class, our 40th graduate class in public administration, and our 44th graduate class in urban planning. With you today are many of the scholar teachers who have been instrumental in guiding you along the path of discovery, and I want to acknowledge the crucial role that all of your faculty here have played. Thank you. We also have several special guests with us today. Dr. Susan Poser, the Provost and Vice Chancellor for Academic Affairs. Ms. Juliana Stratton, the Lieutenant Governor of the State of Illinois. Dr. Karen Colley, the Dean of the Graduate College. Mr. Peter Chubak, the Distinguished CUPPA alumnus and President of the CUPPA Alumni Association. Dr. Joanna Groden, the Vice Chancellor for Research, and Dr. Rex Tulliver, the Vice Chancellor for Student Affairs. Thank you for joining us in the celebration. I also want to recognize our commencement marshal, Dr. Phil Ashton, and thank him for his assistance with the ceremony today. Dr. Ashton is completing his 3-year term as CUPPA's first Associate Dean for Academic Affairs, and we are deeply grateful for him for the work that he's done for the benefit of all our students. Thank you, Phil. I also want to recognize Public Administration Professor and Director of the Survey Research Laboratory, Dr. Tim Johnson, who is retiring from UIC this summer with over 30 years of service to our students, faculty, staff, and the research mission of our university. Tim is not here, but thank you. There are 2 additional staff members who are retiring this year and have played a very direct role in the lives of our students while they are here at UIC. They couldn't be with us tonight, but you will know that, them by their names. Marcin Hiolski has maintained our computer labs, Wi-Fi, and most things CUPPA Tech for over 20 years. And Ann Barnes, the assistant to the head in the Urban Planning and Policy Department, who's handled departmental matters for students and faculty for the last 12 years. If any graduate had an issue or question, Ann would certainly find the answer. Our thanks to both of them for their dedication to our students and making the college run smoothly. And now I have the distinct honor of introducing Dr. Susan Poser, the Provost and Vice Chancellor for Academic Affairs at UIC, where she also serves as the Chief Operating Officer. Dr. Poser is responsible for the university's academic enterprise, including the planning, implementation, and assessment of UIC's academic programs. Dr. Poser received her bachelor's degree with honors in ancient Greek and political science from Swarthmore College, and both her JD and PhD in jurisprudence and social policy from the University of California, Berkeley. Since coming to UIC in February 2016, Provost Poser has initiated many programs for faculty and students, including increased opportunities for faculty research collaborations and professional development, and data-driven approaches to enhancing students' academic success in order to increase student retention and, as you are all here, graduation rates. Please welcome Provost Susan Poser.
Thank you, Dean Pagano. Let me also welcome everyone to the University of Illinois at Chicago Spring Commencement Ceremony. Hello, class of 2019, and congratulations. And like Dean Pagano, I also want to thank the families and friends and faculty and staff. Thank you all for being here today, and thank you for everything you have done to support our students. I send you greetings from our Chancellor, Michael Amaritis, who would never miss a UIC commencement except in one circumstance, so that he can attend his own daughter's graduation from college, which is where he is right now. He sends his hearty congratulations and warm wishes to all of you. Take a moment now, if you would, to turn to the person next to you and congratulate them, because you all reached this day together. You reach this day together in study groups, in residence hall groups, in student organizations, at the cultural centers, and just hanging out in the student center or the library or the basement of CUPPA Hall. I know you helped each other working together, keeping each other awake before exams, and thankfully keeping our coffee shops in business. And you are all here today as one graduating class. Since this is my opportunity to offer some words before we confer your degrees, I want to talk for a moment about what you will be taking with you when you walk out of these doors today as UIC alumni, and why that's important. Of course, you will be walking out with your degrees, although actually not really. You will be walking out with a symbol of your degree. The piece of paper representing your degree is, as they say, in the mail. To our undergraduates, you are also leaving with a well-exercised mind. Your brains were probably a little flabby when you first got to UIC from high school or community college, not yet tested by the rigor provided by an outstanding faculty at a research university. But now your minds are firm, they are taut and agile, having been shaped by your experiences here, learning how to write well, to analyze critically, to calculate, to communicate, to put yourself in someone else's shoes. UIC was like a heavy workout for your brain, which is now in good shape to take on the world, whether it is further study in graduate school or professional school, a new job, or some other adventure. And to our graduate students, at the risk of taking this metaphor too far, I would say your minds are now like elite Olympic athletes at peak performance and ready for the big time. Whatever degree you are getting today, you are all taking with you from UIC a world-class education, but also some real-life experiences that come from completing projects, conducting research, and working in teams. And you had these experiences at one of the most diverse universities in the nation, where diversity is found in countless ways, by race and ethnicity, religion, sexual orientation, gender identity, economic status, country of origin, citizenship status, and so forth. And these are experiences that employers look for and need to fill any job because they represent the reality of the 21st century workforce. The fact that many of you balance careers or caring for family members while at UIC shows a deep level of commitment, responsibility, and determination, which will also serve you very well as you go forward from here. And finally, I hope you take from UIC the one thing that UIC, as one of the most politically and socially engaged universities in the nation, was uniquely positioned to help you develop, and that is a passion for civic engagement and understanding of your responsibility to engage in making the world better and having an informed and strong voice. Use that passion and that voice to fight for what is right, to fight for justice. There is more justice to be had everywhere, and certainly in all aspects of public administration, public policy, urban studies, and urban planning. I hope that political, cultural, and civic engagement will be an important part of your future. Our collective future as a country and as a world depends on this, and having attended UIC, you know what it is, and you know how to do it. So on behalf of UIC, I promise you that we will always be your university. We will continue to support you. Like you, we will continue to grow in strength and reputation, enhancing the value of your degrees. And please remember to share your future accomplishments with us and return to visit, to mentor the students who follow in your footsteps. We need you now as role models for those coming up, because that's what you are, that is what you have become, just by virtue of sitting where you are sitting today. And we also need you as ambassadors for UIC to tell the world what is going on here at this most wonderful university. And you are now our shining example of all of that. So once again, congratulations, class of 2019, and Godspeed.
Thank you, Provost Poser. It's now my distinct honor to introduce our commencement speaker. We're honored today to have Juliana Stratton, who serves as the 48th Lieutenant Governor of the state of Illinois. Previously, Lieutenant Governor Stratton represented the 5th District in the Illinois House of Representatives. And prior to her time in state government, she was the director of the Center for Public Safety and Justice at UIC, yes, in the College of Urban Planning and Public Affairs, where she trained law enforcement agencies to build strong relationships with the communities they serve. She's also a professional mediator and operates her own small business for over 20 years. Lieutenant Governor Stratton is a lifelong Illinoisan and was born and raised on the south side of Chicago. She's a proud graduate of Kenwood Academy High School, the University of Illinois at Urbana-Champaign, and DePaul University's College of Law. She has 3 daughters, enjoys going to concerts, and running marathons and triathlons. Lieutenant Governor Stratton.
Good morning. Thank you, Dean Pagano, for such a kind introduction. I am absolutely thrilled to be back with the College of Urban Planning and Public Affairs, and I'm grateful for your friendship and your efforts to promote just, resilient, and livable communities. To Provost Susan Poser, thank you for your leadership at the University of Illinois at Chicago, Chicago's public research university, and for continuing to prioritize diversity and inclusion and making this a welcoming place for those who call this campus home. And of course, thank you to all the members of the administration, faculty, and staff who, without you, this day would not be possible. With a special mention of the staff of the Office of the Dean, who has been so hard at work to make sure that this day is as celebratory as it deserves to be. I also want to acknowledge the staff of the Center for Public Safety and Justice, who I had the extreme pleasure of working with during my time here at UIC. Class of 2019, whether at the bachelor's, master's, or doctoral level, congratulations to you all. I know how hard you worked to get to this day, and I know that it wasn't easy. Yet, here you are. You stayed focused, you persevered, and you made up in your mind that you were going to succeed, and succeed you did. I am proud of each and every one of you, and I'm so incredibly honored to be here celebrating this accomplishment with you and the people who mean the most to you. Having said that, I would like to take a moment to thank the people who stood alongside of you during your studies, who supported you and cheered you on and helped you get to this day. People whose mentorship and support and love motivated you to do your best. Partners and parents and grandparents, aunts and uncles, brothers and sisters and children, friends, mentors, co-workers, loved ones, graduates, please join me in giving them a well-deserved round of applause. None of us get to where we are on our own, and so your support of these graduates is greatly appreciated. Graduates, today does not mark the end of a journey, but the beginning of a new adventure. With the preparation you've received, you exit the classroom and enter a world where learning continues every day in some of the most unexpected ways. Your experiences here at UIC have brought you closer to the person that you desired to be years ago when you first arrived on campus. And they have also shown you how much more you desire to grow. You will be increasingly amazed at how the core foundation and love of learning that was developed right here at UIC will help guide you and carry you through the peaks and the valleys, the twists and the turns, the ups and the downs of this journey called life. You are equipped and you are ready. And as your Lieutenant Governor, I remain hopeful that your gifts and talents and knowledge will be shared right here in Illinois. Wherever this journey takes you, and whatever comes next, whether it's a career in the public or private sectors, continuing your education, or perhaps taking some time to figure out your next steps, please remember that earning your degree is a cause for celebration and it's a path for many doors to open, but please don't let what you do take precedence over who you are. See, I know that the College of Urban Planning and Public Affairs nurtured both your academic talents and your ability to think critically about the issues that we face in our city and state, which are many of the same issues faced in urban communities all around the country and indeed the globe. You are the bright minds that those of us in elected office will look to for creative solutions to our most pressing challenges. Yet even in my current role, I have to remind myself that it's bigger than a data point. It's bigger than a white paper. This work that we are all engaging in to better the living conditions for others is bigger than anything that's learned in a classroom or an internship or even a dissertation defense. This work, especially in our current climate, requires an expression of our truest selves in relation to one another. It requires that we bring our lived experiences to the table along with our degrees, that we bring our heart and compassion and our personal narratives into spaces that have for too long been dictated by far too narrow definitions of intellect or a far too limited view of where good ideas can come from. You bring a lived experience that is full of insights and wisdom, and what we need more of in our world is those of you with degrees and doctorates to also be authentically yourselves, to embrace the vast array of experiences and diverse perspectives that you each bring, and we need you to tell the truth about your communities, both the assets and the challenges, and to not let those who are external to your communities drive the narrative about what those communities are and what they are not. In other words, we need you to couple your degree with truth-telling and storytelling, and for you to share the tradition of social justice that has taken root within you at this institution. Because here's the thing, as we sit here celebrating this amazing accomplishment, there are others that started this journey with you that aren't here today. Students whose immigration status created a barrier to accessing financial aid. Students whose families needed them by their side or perhaps to work and they couldn't be in class and so they were unable to finish their studies. Or students who needed support but weren't quite sure how to ask or where to get it, and felt that they had no other choice but to leave. These are real stories that did not come from a textbook or a learning portal, yet they help instruct us on how we might include their perspectives as we do our work in urban planning, urban studies, public affairs, and public administration. This achievement is yours, but it's also for people like them. It is for the people in our neighborhoods that we greet every day as we get our morning started. It is for the people of our past that left a lasting impression on us. It is for the people across our city and our state that are waiting for us to work alongside of them to improve their lives at a time when those from many urban communities would say that they are more likely to be ignored. Class of 2019, as you carry the values of urban planning, urban studies, public affairs, and public administration with you through a social justice lens, I am inspired to put out a call to action as you begin this next phase of discovery. A call to never forget the work of those that came before us and opened doors of opportunity. A call to never forget the struggles of what it took to get you to this point and this stage today. A call to never forget that there are real barriers in our urban areas, barriers like racism and sexism and ableism, xenophobia, homophobia, and an ever-widening income gap, just to name a few. And these barriers can only be overcome when we tell the truth, when we tell our stories, and when we tell the stories of those who wish they only had someone who would listen. After graduating from law school, I was inspired to work on criminal justice reform in communities while operating my own business. The experiences that I had with working with the people who had touched the system challenged me to go beyond what I had learned from my professors and textbooks and to recognize that school was still in session. But this time, my instructors were the people from these communities. I was driven by the work, yet what motivated me most was the recognition that some of the best ideas for reforming the system came from those who had been entangled in the system. And this was not an either-or proposition. What I learned from people in the community built upon the foundation that I learned in school, and it allowed me to understand that we can never do our best in solving urban issues if we only focus on policy while ignoring the people. I learned early on that by embracing my talents and nurturing what I'm passionate about, I could do work that I love while at the same time improving the lives of others. And when I walked the quad at the University of Illinois at Urbana-Champaign 30 years ago, I never imagined that I would now walk the halls of the Illinois State Capitol as our state's first Black lieutenant governor. I had no idea that my voice and my words would be used to make a call for justice and equity in policymaking all throughout our state. I am confident that you will do the same thing and focus not just on what you do, but who you are and the values you carry that were nurtured right here. You understand, just as I do, that justice and equity go beyond policymaking or criminal justice reform, that the pursuit of justice is not just limited to politics or elected office or protest. The pursuit of justice is about ensuring that when you work to improve our urban communities, that you do so with the people, not just for the people. You can pursue justice by making sure that the tables in which you sit are more inclusive of diverse perspectives. You can mentor others. You can lift up people whose voices often go unheard, and you can come back to UIC and the College of Urban Planning and Public Affairs and offer students in the years to come your insight and expertise and opportunities to get real life experience. That is justice. I understand that we are living at a time when it seems like injustice will prevail. I know that tackling issues like poverty and climate change and gun violence seem insurmountable, but I want you to remember that you are not alone. Together, we will take a collective step towards creating equitable communities all around the globe. And what you have accomplished today is really planting the seeds for your own legacy. Class of 2019, when I look at you, I think of the words of educator and civil rights activist Mary McLeod Bethune, who said, "The progress of the world will call for the best that all of us have to give." Despite our challenges, we will make progress. We will get better, and our communities, thanks to all of you, will be stronger. I am counting on you. Please know that I believe in you, and I am so very proud of you. And I, for one, cannot wait to work alongside of you to make our communities and our world a better place. Congratulations, class of 2019. Thank you so much.
If I get the right one. Thank you, Lieutenant Governor Stratton. On behalf of all of us, there's a gift in all of your free time to read books. But I think we also heard a message of the importance of training for marathons that she does, and that is, it's the long term, and in the long term, we're victorious.
Yes.
Thank you for your leadership.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you.
Will Graduate College Dean Karen Colley please come forward and present the candidates for graduate degrees to the Provost?
Provost Poser, upon the recommendation of the faculty and by the vote of the Senate, I have the honor to present these candidates for the degree of Doctor of Philosophy. Candidates, please rise if you are able.
Upon these recommendations and by the authority of the Board of Trustees, I confer upon each of you the Doctor of Philosophy, the degree for which you have been presented, and admit you to all of the rights, privileges, and responsibilities of that degree.
You may move your tassels to the left side. Congratulations. Please be seated. Candidates for the master's degrees, please rise if you are able. Provost Poser, upon the recommendation of the faculty and by the vote of the Senate, I have the honor to present these candidates for the degrees of Master of Public Administration and Master of Urban Planning and Policy.
Upon these recommendations and by authority of the Board of Trustees, I confer upon each of you the master's degree for which you have been presented and admit you to all the rights, privileges, and responsibilities of that degree. Congratulations.
You may move your tassels to the left side. Congratulations again. And please be seated.
Dean Pagano will now present candidates for Bachelor of Arts degrees in Public Policy and Urban Studies.
Candidates for the bachelor's degree, please rise if you are able. Provost Poser, upon the recommendation of the faculty and vote of the Senate, I have the honor to present these candidates for the degree of Bachelor of Arts.
Upon these recommendations and by the authority of the Board of Trustees, I confer upon each of you the Bachelor of Arts degree for which you have been presented and admit you to all the rights, privileges, and responsibilities of that degree. Congratulations.
You may now move your tassels to the left side, and congratulations. You may be seated. Would Drs. Carr and Nedovich-Budic please proceed to the diploma cover table to distribute diplomas to your department's graduates? And Dr. Ashton, would you kindly introduce our graduates?
Recipients of the degree of Doctor of Philosophy in Public Administration and Doctor of Philosophy in Urban Planning and Policy, please stand and come forward if you are able onto the platform when your name is called and face the audience. Your faculty advisor will present the hood that symbolizes your new academic status. Anna Bernatska, recipient of the degree of Doctor of Philosophy in Public Administration. Her dissertation is titled, "Does Self-Regulation Make Nonprofit Organizations More Accountable? Evidence from the U.S. Arts Sector." She's being hooded by her faculty advisor, Dr. Kelly LaRue. Charles Corwin, recipient of the degree of Doctor of Philosophy in Urban Planning and Policy. His dissertation is titled "Knowledge Networks and Adaptation of New Agricultural Systems, Cover Cropping in North Central Illinois." He's being hooded by his faculty advisor, Dr. Kurt Winkle. Jeong Shin, recipient of the degree of Doctor of Philosophy in Urban Planning and Policy. His dissertation is titled "Location Choice and Travel Behavior of Young Adults, Back to the City and Multimodality." He's being hooded by his faculty advisor, Dr. Nebiyu Telihun. Graduates with master's degrees in public administration, please stand and come forward if you are able to be recognized. Courtney C. Barnes. I think so. Yeah, that's probably easy. Darius Maurice Newsom. Corey Bertun. Colby Paschalk. Idris Abdahali Farah. Stephen Hams. Benjamin Brown. Alexander Davis. Jeremiah Buckley. Brittany Smith. Talia Adina Cohen. Aaliyah Wilbur. Recipient. Chi Shun. Yinang Zhong. Yang Su. Yuro Hua. Dan Zhong. Ke Li. Chuyin Wang. Chin Ching Meng. Tiffany White. Yuo Wang. Xiaowei Lu. Wang Chongkai. Wang Zuan. Ma Yu Hong. Zhang Ruyu. Zhao Hanxi. Yang Na. Wu Zehui. Liang Li Duo. Jessica Mayo. Katari Powell. Marisol Campos. Shannon McCabe. Autumn Star Baldwin. Anita Owens. J.D. Van Slyke. Joseph Andrew Struck. Jasmine Kennedy. Austin Zamudio. Kristen Mary Matthew. Graduates with master's degrees in urban planning and policy, please stand and come forward if you are able to be recognized. Peter Kirsten. Jessica Jones. Nathan Brumer. Emily Dauscher. Ryan Chapman. Sarah Richardson. Ashley Ryman. Sarah Haney. Dylan O'Reilly. Casey Sabeto. Peter Matheson. Mary Nickel. Donald Fiore. Eric Tellez. Blagovest Blagoev. Luis Tello. Norma Hernandez. Taniqua Buchanan. Isaac Zhao. Gustavo Sandoval. Eric Boria. Alexis Perez. Michael McCarthy. Evan Clements. Kenneth Figueroa. Madeline Pankowski. Jeffrey Rosencraft. Andrew Brown. Richard Peters. Justin Gutierrez. William Hudson. Krupa Gajar. Kevin Peralta. Congratulations, man. Rachel Sikowski. Surya Vadrudevu. Catherine Nicoli. Blake Brown Grigsby. Shantanu Pai. Carlos Lopez. Aiden Dixon. William Bowman. Graduates with the Bachelor of Arts degrees in Public Policy, please stand and come forward if you are able to be recognized. Lucretia Startree Spurts. Ayana Simba. Dimitri McDonald. Ashur Lazar. Kristen McKiernan. Oh. Are you public policy? Okay. Graduates with the Bachelor of Arts degrees in Urban Studies, please stand and come forward if you're able to be recognized. Here they are. Nicholas Hernandez. Armando Ponce. Timothy White. Eric Nervous. Sarah Howe. Jose Moyo. Rudolph Repa. Maximilian Evans Byron. Jasmine Garcia. John Christopher Chongson. Precious McNeil. Allison Isguera.
Thank you, Phil.
Yeah. Erin Nicole Hudson. Cynthia Marroquin. Elena Powell. Madison Gorecki. Jorge Garcia. Michael Johnson. Aubrey Phillips. Marissa Zulawski. Joshua Mausisa Villanueva. Anthony Mishak. Your favorite. Paul Meisner. Guillermo Leo. Gerald Buford.
Congratulations. Many of you have demonstrated exceptional academic achievement or leadership as students, and I would like to recognize the recipients of our two departments' Professional Association Awards. I ask each of them to stand and be recognized. Corey Bertun and Austin Zamudio. Both of them were recipients of the American Society for Public Administration's Dean Idle Outstanding Graduate Student Award. And Jessica Jones. Jessica Jones is the Master's of Urban Planning and Policy student and the recipient of the Honorable Mention for the Holtzheimer Memorial Student Scholarship Award from the American Planning Association Economic Development Division. Thank you. You may be seated. In addition to these awards, I would like the following students to stand, if able, and present and be recognized for exceptional academic achievement as designated by the gold, silver, and bronze cords they wear. The Latin honors are so designated as summa cum laude, those with the grade point average at or above 3.9. Lucretia Burtz, Jose Moyo, and Ella Perlman. Please remain standing. Magna cum laude, those with a grade point average between 3.75 and 3.89. Nicholas Hernandez. Sarah Howe. And Paul Mitzner. Please remain standing. And those with cum laude, with a grade point average between 3.5 and 3.74, Madison Gorecki, Michael Johnson, Dimitri McDonald, Amando Ponce, Iana Simba, Marissa Zulawski. Thank you so much. Congratulations. Thank you. You may be seated. In addition to these award recipients, it gives me great pleasure this year to present CUPPA's Silver Circle Award recipient. Great teachers are the heart of a great university. UIC annually recognizes and honors its great teachers. With this award, the students of UIC honor those who have taught us with distinction. I'm honored to present the Silver Circle Award to Urban Planning and Policy Professor John Betancourt. Dr. Betancourt, please come forward. Commencement implies a transition in the life of a student from being a student to that of being an alumnus or an alumna, a member of an ever-growing constituency of CUPPA alumni who play an important role in furthering educational opportunities for others and in advancing the mission and objectives of the college and the university. CUPPA is indeed fortunate to have many committed alumni. And this morning, one of these remarkable graduates, Peter Chubak, the president of the CUPPA Alumni Association Board of Directors, is with us today. Peter graduated with his Master's of Public Administration in 2002 and is the City Forester for the City of Chicago. Peter's completing his second and final year as CUPPA Alumni Board President. Peter.
Thank you, Dean Pagano. Good morning, everyone. Once again, welcome to the 2019 commencement ceremony. Seems kind of strange at this point to welcome you, but I hope you all feel welcome. So usually when you're in your robe at 10 a.m., it means you've given up, but not today. So congratulations on not giving up. My name is Peter Chubak. I am the current president of the University of Illinois College of Urban Planning and Public Affairs Alumni Association, fondly referred to by many as CUPPA Alumni Association. My presidential reign will officially end this coming Tuesday, May 14th. So the current vice president, Joshua Hahn, is going to take the reins as the new president. But I still am the official president, and I have the distinct pleasure of congratulating you all. Such an awesome and remarkable achievement. I recently saw a clip of Seth Meyers that summed up his experience of speaking at Northwestern's commencement, and he said, "It doesn't matter what the hell you say in a commencement speech, because about an hour later, everyone in the room will not remember anything you have said. Thus, there will be a quiz at the end, so please pay close attention. As I try to impart wisdom to you, I will also inform you about our Alumni Association, and I will invite you, but also challenge you to continue your connection with this institution. As the next phase of your lives begin, and always remember to give back in any way that you can." They ask that I do this in a timely manner, and I've told them I'll only keep it about to an hour or so. So get ready. The final act of your formal college education, graduation, which you've just completed, at the very least, congratulations are in order. A well-deserved nod of my head, tip of my proverbial cap, salute to such a wildly awesome achievement. Your commencement that you have worked so hard and so long to achieve is finally here. That day that you thought would never come, a day that your parents' pocketbooks could never imagine coming, it's finally here. So sit back, close your eyes, and take a deep breath. Now pinch yourself and realize the quiz is coming up soon, in under 60 minutes or less. Actually realize that life is just beginning, and your transition to what we hope is a productive member of society is about to begin. This is not the end, but only the beginning. Commencement is a time to celebrate all of your hard work. It is a time to reflect on all that the university has provided you with, great experiences, awesome opportunities, and tremendous knowledge. Not to mention 15 extra pounds. This is a time to be thankful for such an awesome accomplishment. It's an awesome place and an overwhelming experience that you can take with you everywhere you go and be better for it. The one question that remains is, what are you going to do with all that? Many of my personal accomplishments in life have been built upon a foundation solidified by both a Bachelor of Agricultural Sciences from the University of Illinois at Urbana-Champaign and a Master of Public Administration from the University of Illinois at Chicago. I traveled to South Africa, where I rode an ostrich. I worked at Walt Disney World, where I killed mosquitoes. I joined the Bureau of Forestry, where I currently manage all the parkway trees throughout the entire city of Chicago, because of an internship opportunity provided by this great educational institution. I often regulate professional boxing and mixed martial arts in this very building as I moonlight with the Illinois Department of Financial and Professional Regulation. Immediately after this ceremony, I'll be driving out to the Allstate Arena in Rosemont, where I'll hang out till about midnight or so regulating and supervising mixed martial arts. At the urging of a classmate, I was inducted into the UIC CUPPA Alumni Association, where, believe it or not, I actually met my current wife. We're celebrating our second anniversary in a little less than 2 weeks. Thank you. So I hope that my tale resonates with each of you. I hope that it inspires you. More importantly, I hope your personal story can be written in a similar fashion with the same pride, fondness, and love for this remarkable university just as mine has. It is my sincere hope that you will find a way to productively use what you have been given, but more importantly, my hope is that you will embody the spirit of the university, hold our institution's core values in your heart, and share these gifts with others. As you share these gifts, I hope that the lessons, knowledge, and courage you have gained while studying here shine through to those around you, and you can be the basis for great change and inspiration, leading our charge into the future. The CUPPA Alumni Association is not the largest UIC alumni association, but it is the most active. We were founded in '97 as an initiative offering educational and career development opportunities to alumni, current students, and faculty. We organize all types of events and activities for informal sharing and exchange of information. One of our Alumni Association more recent notable events was a tour of the Illinois International Port District. On this tour, I learned about our nation's fourth coast. So I found that rather intriguing because I thought there were only two. Out of curiosity, can anyone name what the other three are? Well, we have the East and West, which are a given, correct? Hopefully. But the fourth is the Great Lakes, which I visited and discovered. The other one is the Gulf Coast, which we often forget about. So that'll be on the quiz. Keep that in mind. Other examples of our events include a tour of Graceland Cemetery, a Devil in the White City tour throughout the city, and a backstage tour of the Lyric Opera, which I personally enjoyed. Networking events, speaking engagements, all the way down to resume review and mock interviews, our association covers it all. One of our finest programs, which hopefully some of you took advantage of while you were here, is the Mentor Program, where protégés develop and enhance valuable tools and skills at the tutelage of a mentor. Our Alumni Association's Creme de la Creme event is our annual Jim Merrick Alumni Appreciation Award. It is held in the intimacy of a board member's home, where we recognize an individual or a group for being an outstanding member of the community, for their dedication to the fields of urban planning and public administration, and for their contributions to the development of the college's students and alumni. Before 2010, our award was just known as the CUPPA Alumni Appreciation Award. In November of 2010, our board voted unanimously to rename the award to the Jim Merrick Alumni Appreciation Award. Jim retired from CUPPA after 29 years of service at the university to its students and alumni. He passed away unexpectedly in August of 2010, but our Alumni Association members voted to remember his spirit and charisma, his kindness and his generosity, and his selflessness. I encourage all of you to emulate and mimic these characteristics, as these are the characteristics that truly embody the spirit of the university. The soul of our college, and the decency of humankind. So let us follow Jim's excellent example. I invite you to continue your journey, remain connected to the university and the college by becoming active board members in the UIC CUPPA Alumni Association. So, as I mentioned earlier, you can join us at our next board meeting, which is Tuesday, May 14th. And you can get a firsthand look at what we do and what we're all about. So, as I'm noticing, no one's taken out their phones to record that date. But anyway, that'll be on the quiz too, so don't worry. If you'd like more information about joining the board, you can always Google the UIC CUPPA Alumni Association and find out about our next event, the Jim Merrick Award presentation, or any other board meetings. So I look forward to seeing each and every one of you on Tuesday. I know you're all saddened to hear my conclusion is about to begin, and I'll be wrapping things up, but I am sure you're all thankful I will not be living up to my 60-minute commitment. Thank you so much for allowing me to share my story with you. Thank you for allowing me to inform you about our Alumni Association, what we do, and what we are all about. The Alumni Association appreciates all the support that the Dean and the college provide, and we hope that the Alumni Association can reciprocate in a mutually beneficial way for all alumni to benefit. So I wish all of you, especially the graduates, the best regardless of your endeavors, provided that they are legal, of course. Do not be strangers and keep in touch. You can easily achieve this by actively participating in the UIC CUPPA Alumni Association. So are you ready to begin the quiz? Question number 1. Okay, you may have begun to realize I was just joking about the quiz, but I would like to share 4 quick pieces of advice before I depart, and I do really encourage you to write these down so you don't forget. I know our minds are wandering and wondering when he's going to finally stop talking. First, always do your best. Secondly, always do the right thing. Thirdly, fear no one. Finally, always be kind, especially to yourself. So make the university and the college proud of you. I know that you all will. Good luck, Godspeed, and thanks again.
Thank you, Peter. I would have failed the exam. I thought we were on the third coast, not the fourth coast. Well, I now have the great pleasure of introducing the first of our 2019 student commencement speakers. Our first student speaker is J.D. Van Slyke. J.D.'s graduated with his master's degree in public administration with a concentration in public policy and urban governance. Prior to attending UIC, J.D. worked at various social impact organizations across Chicago, where he served immigrants and refugees, CPS students, and the LGBT communities. J.D. works in Chicago's Office of the Mayor as a manager of community engagement and neighborhood development. J.D. Van Slyke.
All right, good morning, CUPPA. How are we doing? It's a real honor, and I'm very humbled to be here with you all today. My final week here at UIC has been beautiful, it's been bizarre, and it's been painful. The morning after I presented my final capstone project, I learned that my grandfather had passed away. He was a Chicagoan when my mom was born, and a real nut, and I'm gonna miss him deeply. And I tell you this because I know that almost every graduate here probably has someone that they love that can't physically be here or has passed away. And graduates, I believe that those people are very proud of you today. To the family that can be here today, thank you. Sometimes it can get easy to take family for granted when you're overwhelmed by school or work or life, and sometimes it takes a tragedy or a graduation to realize how much you depend on them and how much they depend on you. As many of you already know, family can also be chosen. Last week, I attended LabGrad, an event that honors graduates across the university who identify as part of LGBT+ communities. It touched me watching graduates walk across the stage with members of their family, both biological and chosen. LavGrad helped me realize that over the past 2 years, I have been able to expand my chosen family to include UIC's College of Urban Planning and Public Affairs class of 2019. Where are my fellow grads at? Let me tell you, we are an odd and eclectic bunch. We are data heads and political junkies and news hacks and policy wonks and planners and designers and parents and police officers and activists and rabble rousers. And we are from Chicago, Illinois. We are from Beijing, China. We are from Wiley, Texas. And we all have our own story, our own problems and our own values. But we come together to do group projects. So many group projects. It makes me realize that sometimes we don't choose our family. Sometimes our family is chosen for us by our professors, by our institutions, and also by our callings. We might not have all chosen each other, but we chose to be here together and in a way that makes us family. We may have our differences, but we've all made a choice to dedicate at least part of our lives to advancing social good and making this world a better place for everybody. We have chosen this path during a bizarre and beautiful and painful time, and now that we've been put together, we cannot be taken apart. We may bicker, we may fight, we may strike, but we come back to the table again and again because we know the work will take work. So let's get to work. Congrats, y'all.
Thank you, JD. There are a lot of things we don't have choice over. Family's one of them, you're right. Our next speaker, Michael Johnson. Where is he? There he is. Michael's graduating today with a Bachelor of Arts degree majoring in urban studies with a minor in mathematics. He's a Chicago native, born and raised in the Englewood community. He's the proud alumnus of the Chicago Public Schools, Columbia College, and City Colleges of Chicago. And today is one more step forward along his journey through academia, where he plans to pursue a PhD in urban planning and informatics. Michael's an award-winning theater artist, previously working with Justice Focus Productions, and is one of the co-founders of the Resident Association of Greater Englewood. Michael.
Hi, College of Urban Planning students, faculty, family. How are you all doing today? Today is a day to be proud. Be proud, faculty, for you have supported another generation of scholars who soon will be professionals in the field. Be proud, students, for bringing the light of inquiry and action to your studies. And be proud, family members, who have found a way to support a loved one pursuing a degree. It is expensive and a stressful journey, but we all know without family, birth or chosen, many of us would not be here today. Be proud of your sweat, blood, and tears, and know that they simply were a hefty down payment for a brighter future. Now, I'm not here solely for congratulating everyone. I'm going to ask folks to do some work. Lifelong work to steward a just future. The field of planning and policy are professions of futurism and speculation. These futures are contested, and we have an ethical duty to do right by people. At the end of the day, your grade will be the amount of justice you bring to the world. We all sit here today with varying levels of privilege, and with it comes a duty to do good work. We've seen over the last 3 years, and arguably over the last 400, a contempt for racial equity, religious tolerance, and respect for human rights. The profession of planning and policy are not exempt from these ever-present histories of injustice and racism. Many times our field has been the handmaiden of bigotry. We enter a profession with blood on its hands. This is the problematic legacy we must work through if we are to be useful in making a just world. To quote the author, Auntie Krogh, on her work on reconciliation and justice seeking, how will we deal with the lingering harm of the past if we have never been united, to where do we reconcile? To say it again, how will we deal with the lingering harm of the past if we as a nation, if we as a profession, if we as a city, with a living legacy of racial violence and inequity, have never been united, have never found a way to cohabitate justly? To where do we reconcile? To where? Where is the place we can point to and say, this is where we have truly done right by people, honoring diverse identities, cultures, religious affiliations, and histories of said communities? Where is the place where justice is present? It is placed in tomorrow, and the day after that, and the week after that, and the month after that, and the many years after that. It is an ongoing, ever-present pursuit. If we are to be a nation of diverse people, then we are left to reconcile to a future not yet present, a justice not yet completely rectified, a vision of a world we have yet to fully conceptualize, and in order to do that, we as urban scholars and planners and policymakers must take to heart the creative task of imagining and reimagining the apparatuses of justice and the methods centering equity today so as not to preclude the emergent pathways to an equitable tomorrow. You, in many cases, will be the first of your people in the room. Bring your cultural knowledge and your perspective to bear in those rooms. Follow your guts. Never fear speaking truth to power, and dream. Dream up a better world today and work towards actualizing it. Then dream some more, dream bigger. Many of you have beaten the odds to be here, so keep trying your luck. I leave you with an excerpt of the words from Langston Hughes, "Let America be America again." Oh, let America be America again, the land that never has been yet, and yet must be. The land where every person is free. The lands that minds the poor man's, the First Nation, Black me, who made America, whose sweat and blood, whose faith in pain, whose hands at foundry, whose plow and rain must bring our mighty dream again. I say it plain. America was never America to me, and yet I swear this oath, America will be. Thank you, peers, professors, families. I wish you all the best.
Thank you, Michael. Thank you for the dreams. Well, may we live in interesting times, or is it frightening times? In the midst of the name-calling, saber-rattling, and acts of hatred, and the fear of darkness, we have been hearing the loud clarion call for change as the city, nation, and world wrestles for its future. The loss of 1 million species, as a report by the United Nations last week prophesied, but only if we don't take immediate action. Some claim there's no climate change. Consignment of nearly a quarter of the world's incarcerated population to the prisons of this country, and yet some want even more prisons. The loss of life due to violence and guns, and yet some turn a blind eye. The unethical use of democratic institutions for private gain. Wall building, fear-mongering, hate, and animosity toward public institutions. Public or government institutions are of the people, and they are designed to promote the purpose of government, serving people, promoting justice and freedom, and allowing all to pursue happiness. These and other challenges of our city and society expand exponentially, or so it seems, but they're not insuperable. These are problems that fall to societies to solve, and these are problems that fall to those dedicated to serving the public good, the common good, the interests of communities and people, and to those who respect the dignity of all people, even when we know they're wrong. Those dedicated to serving our fellow humans pursue their dreams of a better tomorrow. Thank you, Michael, for the preview. And those persons are you, and that's why you're here. and now prepare to take on the awesome challenges in what might have been considered by some quarters a darkness at noon. You are the people whom my colleagues and I admire, for you are the future leaders and doers who ignore the preposterous and ridiculous pronouncements of so many today who say, or through their actions imply, that public service is an anachronism. It's old school. It's so yesterday. And the corruption is the defining characteristic of government, so why bother? Instead, you've begun to blaze a new path in a new time, a challenging time to say the least. It's marked by distrust and deliberate misinformation and lying. You've taken the path of ethical behavior, democratic values, and a belief in a better, inclusive, and just future. Never give up on virtue and optimism and a belief in a better tomorrow. As the Nobel laureate in literature, Bob Dylan, said over 50 years ago, "For the times they are a-changin'. Just look at the leadership of the city and the state." Yours is the first graduating class to enjoy an entire year of access to the student study space in CUPPA's lower level, and you've also experienced the first full year of no major construction projects in more than a decade. It's been quiet, thankfully. I invite you to return and tell your stories. When you return, you'll find yourself in an ever-expanding college bent on ensuring that together we build just, resilient, and livable communities. And you'll find CUPPA continues to be the envy of its peers. You'll find that when urban problems and government challenges need addressing, CUPPA is the place to find answers. When you return, you'll be back to the future, for you've seen it because you studied at the college that's dedicated to dreaming about and making a better future, rooted in social justice, good government, and liberty for all. So come on back, let us know how to do what we do and know better, and let's do it together. Contact us, engage us, and be persistent with hope. A better tomorrow is what you will craft. Congratulations, class of 2019. To underscore a comment the provost already made, you do make us proud now, and you will make us proud in the future. It's yours. Reach for the brass ring, seize it, and don't forget your mothers.
Congratulations, and thank you to our graduates, family and friends, and our CUPPA faculty and staff for attending today's commencement. This concludes our ceremony. Graduates will exit the main floor by rows after the platform party has retired from the stage. Professors Carr and Nedovich-Budic, please lift the banners and lead the platform party. The 2019 commencement of the College of Urban Planning and Public Affairs at the University of Illinois at Chicago is now adjourned.